Hi, it's Ben Pascoe for learningsurfphotography.com. So I've just seen a really interesting photo pop up on my Facebook feed. It's by a photographer, Portuguese guy called Nuno Fernandes, and his Facebook page is under Higher Visuals. So here's the photo. It's of Matthew Davis. It popped up on my feed. As you can see, it's very kind of unique, like a stark silhouette with a nice spray behind. And I wanted to try and recreate that on in Lightroom with some of my own shots. So I'm going to move this over to my second screen. You can't see that. I'm only capturing the one screen at the moment, so it obviously fits in nicer aspect ratio for the video. But I can look at that at all times now on my other screen, just as a little reference for myself. First thing I did was go through my Lightroom catalogue and pick out a few shots which I thought would look good with this same style. And then most of these shots have been edited by myself in the past, however I wanted to do it at the time. So what I've then done is created a copy of each one, a virtual copy it's called, and then I've reset them so that I can start from scratch. So this is the one I haven't done that on yet. I'll show you how to do it. Right click and then create a virtual copy. Pops up there. You can see it's a virtual copy because it's got this little like leaf peel on effect in the bottom left corner. So if I then go into develop on that one, this is Joe Brocklebank. This is a remote flash skim shot. So I'm going to reset that. That's what it looked like originally. Right, so I'm going to try this one. That's my original edit of this shot, and I quite like the lighting. I think it compares nicely to the original shot that I saw on Facebook. So that's the virtual copy. That's no editing at all. I'm going to try starting from scratch to recreate this image. So here we go. First of all, go to develop. I'm going to crop it quite a lot. First of all, if you hold shift, it maintains the original aspect ratio. That's without shift, and then that's with shift. So I'm not too worried about the aspect ratio, to be honest. I'm looking at the original and it's just black background. So I'm gonna try something like that. I think I want to have a little bit more at the top. And I think I'm going to move it like this so it hits the kind of rule of thirds. Something interesting on these two intersections here. Not much going on down here. There we go. So that's a bit better. So this, as you can see, nice fan of spray, very much like the original shot. I'm going to go black and white. As you can see, there's just no contrast in this shot originally, so I'm going to crank the contrast right up. I think I might tweak the exposure down a tiny bit. The shadows down as well. I'm going to put the highlights, I might try going up a bit, okay, a little bit. The clarity makes a huge difference, so let's go something like, we want it to be kind of dramatic, so how about that? Something like that, I reckon. With black and white, your sliders for colours here can make a huge difference. You kind of, there we go. I can kind of affect selectively different colours as if I've put a filter on the camera before I took it. I quite like that. That's not making a huge difference, so it does darken the sky a bit, but it makes it look a bit funny, so let's just do that. Nothing. You'll find quite often that with the black and white, some of these colours, if these colours don't appear in the shot, the original shot, like there's not much blue in this one, but you can see where there is blue. It's all around this section here. I actually want to darken off the bottom of the wave a bit, so that's quite useful. Nothing really going on with purple. A little bit behind it, behind the surfer there. And again, likewise, not much going on there. A little bit there. So I quite like that. I think you can kind of make out his silhouette still, which is good. And I don't reckon I want to go too much darker. If I go like that, you can still make out the outline of the surfer. You can see the nice spray coming off. I'm going to crop it a bit more because I like the original. I'm looking at the original the whole time, and all you can see is the spray. The crop is really tight, which I like. That's quite cool. I'm going to move it slightly like that. There you go. I think that's pretty good. So if I hit F, I'll go full screen. So that's my recreation of the effect that I saw. If I bring in the original, that's the original shot. Higher visuals, Nuno Fernandez, and that's my recreation using one of my own photos. I'm pretty happy with that. I like it. It's different and it'll stand out a bit. So naturally I'm going to save that as a preset. I'm going to call that LSP for Learning Surf Photography, stark black and white spray. So I'll remember then if I hit, I don't want to copy the, oh actually it's just reminded me, I'm going to cancel that. I just saw that vignette was an option there, and I'm going to add a bit of vignette, I think. Post-crop vignetting, just to darken the edges a bit. There we go. I quite like that. There we go, -21, that'll do. Let's save that then. LSP, stark, black and white spray. Great. So there you go, I've got my preset there. So, now if I go back to the library, that's my virtual copy, that's my original. I do like those colours in that one. Nice kind of pastel sunset colours. Totally different effect. I still like it, and I like the fact that the sun's kind of shining through. Let's see if it will apply to this one just as well. This is a flash shot I'm going to develop. I'm just going to, yeah, this is the virtual copy because it hasn't been edited at all. And if I go for, where's my LSP? There we go. Pow. Doesn't work so well, I don't think. Let's try cropping in like we did on the original. I think one of the reasons it's not working so well is there's a lot of white water in this one. Yeah, and you don't see that in the original shot that I'm kind of recreating, or that first shot that I tried. So what you can do is use the adjustment brush, and you can just paint the areas you want to adjust. And the problem is it might look really unnatural, but let's try it. And then I can, for instance, drop the exposure on these areas. What I've found in the past is it might look super unnatural to you when you're glancing at it, but that's partly because you're really used to seeing this photo, and you might find if you come back to it another time. So that's my original edit of that photo. Obviously I wanted to highlight the fact that it's all white everywhere. The arc of spray is the main feature. There's that one. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I like it, but not as much as that one, which is a lot closer to the original. So it doesn't matter though, because it's a virtual copy. I haven't affected anything. I've still got my original edit there. It hasn't made any difference. I can still export either one, both of them if I want to. Just something a bit different. That one's going to be very similar, so I'm not going to worry about that. That's a bit different. So that's my original edit of that shot. That's the unedited version. So let's try, first of all, I'll just make it straight. I'll crop in a bit in a minute. That's much better, I reckon, because you get to see, I guess there's less white, which is the main problem I have with the other one. And you can kind of hit rule of thirds again there. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I like the fact that you can see this kind of sand here where he's skimmed down and done the turn. That's alright. I don't mind that one. I like the fact you can see the arch, so let's try that. No, you can see this effect has kind of killed the arch thing. So this is good. I mean, you can see straight away the colour really helps with this because this arch really stands out. So let's not worry about that. Again, doesn't really matter. This is the kind of thing you can do in Lightroom. You can experiment really easily. One might look amazing like this one, and then another might just not really set it off. So let's have a look. So that's my edited original. From a dawn shot. It's got that same sort of vibe with the spray though, so let's go, this is the original unedited. And I'm going to quickly experiment with this one too. Wow, look at that's quite cool. I really like what it's done with the clouds and with this heap of whitewash here. I like that, that's awesome. I'm going to tweak it a bit and make it a bit darker though, I think. It's almost a bit like an infrared style shot. There's a photographer called, it's either Muck Snowhammer or MC Snowhammer. I guess it's MC Snowhammer now I say it out loud because that would make sense with MC Hammer. I'll put a link up to his shots on, in fact let me find one here, live. And I didn't think about this until I'd just seen this shot. I really like that one. I think I prefer that to the original. If I go back, that's the original, that's the new one. You lose the detail in the person and the kind of board and things, but sometimes that's good. Sometimes it's nice to, nice to kind of make it a bit more abstract. Makes you kind of pay attention to these kind of textures and details rather than the anything else that's going on. Yeah, I like it. I think I will continue experimenting with this style. I love these clouds behind. That was such a nice morning. Let me find you. There we go. So it's Matthias Hammer. Here we go. That's an infrared. I believe it's infrared. Gotta be. 550D, but I think it's been converted to infrared. There we go. So it's infrared. And that's Kelly Slater doing an air, but you get the picture. That's infrared as well. There we go. Another infrared shot. So you see how I'm kind of, it's obviously different, but you get the kind of picture. This is a really cool effect you can try out. So, and I've just literally seen something on Facebook, and within 10 minutes I've managed to create my own preset, played around with it. I've failed on 3 or 4 shots, and I know now in the future it's probably not worth trying it on this kind of flash shot with a real, with lots more kind of whitewater in the shot, but I know that it works for that kind of backlit sunset or early morning shot, and especially the kind of one with dramatic clouds and things, lots of textures in the background, and there you go. So I've now, I don't think I posted that anywhere before, that shot, so I think I'll pop that one up on Instagram, so everyone can see what it's like, and I'll pop this video on learningsurfphotography.com. You can find it there. I'll have if you go to learningsurfphotography.com/Lightroom, there'll be a link to this one. I'll have a whole series on Lightroom. I think this is actually really interesting. Just tweaking things like this and trying to copy the original. But thanks to Nuno Fernandez, Higher Visuals, for the inspiration in this case, and MC Snowhammer as well, who indirectly managed to influence me on that one as well. Hope you enjoyed this. I'll try and do some more, and check out learningsurfphotography.com.